Oh, we struggle in all aspects of school.
Yeah.
We had PE down. That's about it.
And lunch.
PE and
I was really good.
That has stayed true to form.
Sean Watson, another step back, which I will say a lot of his problem had O-line. 8 sacks.
Yeah.
8 sacks. Good.
It's gonna be back like when Vic came back to the league after the dog hit.
Yes.
I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine.
Okay, everybody. We are here. And,
Welcome.
We're doing a little bit something that I tried with my kids yesterday on TikTok, and Alex thought it was a pretty cool idea. We're going to do it where we both make our own NFL brackets. As you can see in the background here, we're going to start with him. But first things first, Alex is going to give you some housekeeping on our socials and all that. And
Yes. Make sure to follow the Facebook page. We are Benchwarmers Basement Banner on there. Follow the X page. It is 1 second. I should have you set that stuff up at some point in time on here too.
yeah, eventually.
We are BBB Sports Talk 24 on X, and we are BBB Sports Talk on TikTok. At least for this foreseeable future, even though we supposedly have 8 days left of it.
Yeah.
Hopefully not, because we've built up a nice following there, but we'll see, I guess. We also have a Discord link that is in the YouTube profile and in the TikTok profile. So if you follow that, you can get updates on all our videos. You can talk to us, ask us betting advice right now, stuff like that. There was fantasy advice, but fantasy football's over. And sub to the YouTube. That's the main thing. We're trying to get to 1,500 subscribers. We aren't quite there yet.
I think
We're
we're
real
like
close.
6 away
We'd
at
love
this
to hit
point.
it. Yeah, I 6 or 8. So I hope we see it soon.
Yeah. Well, without further ado, looks like you're up to bat on this. If you where you want to start?
Let's start on the AFC side.
Okay, good. I've already got my text thing on the bottom left here. Broncos versus
All right.
the Buffalo Bills.
That is the first game, correct? Right?
Yes, I believe they play here in about an hour. 2
No,
hours.
sorry, no. Chargers and Texans is first game. So let's go that way.
Okay.
You can just kind of, because I haven't decided. No, it's gonna be fine. I already see how I'm picking. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
I think the Chargers win here. The Texans banged up offensively. I think the Chargers have more. Their defense is better. You claim they're the best defense in football. I'm not exactly sure. I don't think
Okay,
they
so I
quite
did see
are.
something today. They led the league in sacks, and the Buffalo Bills. Oh no, I'm talking Broncos. Sorry,
Sorry,
never mind.
that's Broncos. Yeah, the number one defense in rank is the Eagles. Broncos have, I think, the most sacks, but I know the Chargers are right up there. They're a top 5 defense for sure. I don't know how high they are actually ranked, but I think their defense is good enough. The Texans not been playing well. They're banged up. Joe Mixon has disappeared for them.
Yeah,
which
he really
is
has.
a pretty big deal. The Chargers, I think, have just enough firepower to make it through on this game.
I agree with that. I mean, I'm not going to tell you too much about what I have to say because I am going to be doing my own bracket. But
Yes.
I think we kind of talked about these first round of games already, and we were pretty well on the same page.
Yeah,
my
yeah,
fandom
we pretty
took
well
over
were.
on 1 or 2.
Mainly just one.
Yeah.
But I do think that one is the best game of the weekend for sure.
Yeah.
We got the AFC North battle here with the Steelers and Ravens.
Yeah.
This is the Amazon game, so remember that.
The Amazon.
It's on
game.
Amazon. But I might be the one streaming on that one, though. We'll see
Okay.
which way we want to do that. But anyways, we'll probably be live on TikTok streaming some games.
Yeah,
So
we're
you can
definitely
talk
going to be
to
doing
us
the ones
there.
today. So,
Yes, for sure. I don't know if the Rodgers tomorrow can take the Packers and Eagles game, but we'll see.
I don't know if
get
I
him
can
convinced
be
to.
online while that one's happening.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. like I thought about doing the Illini game, but they just lost. But decided that's probably not the greatest idea. But anyways, AFC North battle here. Steelers have lost 4 straight.
They've only lost
coming
3
into this.
straight. Or no, it is 4.
3
It is
straight.
4.
No, I think it's 4. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's 4 straight. They've not looked good at all. Which they did lose a lot of those without George Pickens, and that's the only thing they kind of have.
He was
on
there
the
for their
passing.
last week game that looked pretty bad though.
Yeah. Ravens, I mentioned this in our live the other day, or in our pick'em, sorry. Against winning teams, against playoff teams, or it may against winning teams. I don't remember what it was exactly, but their points differential is plus 112. They haven't just beat good teams; they have beat the shit out of good teams.
Yeah, that's saying something for sure.
It is. They did beat the shit out of the Bills early on, and that's a big part of that point differentials.
Yeah.
Because that game was like what 40-3.
Yeah, it was
like
a
that.
huge deficit.
It was huge, so that's a big part of it. I mean, that's differential in that game is more than all the other teams combined, or not combined, but all the other teams, because Detroit is second on that at a plus 36.
Yeah, which is a significant difference.
Yes. But I do think the Ravens are rolling. I think they're gonna win here. Without Zay Flowers does hurt it a little bit, and that's why I think Pittsburgh will cover,
I
along
could
with it
definitely
just
see
being a
them cover.
divisional game. But the Ravens have enough firepower. They're going to run the ball. They're going to stuff it down your throat. And Mark Andrews has come along, and we talked about on the pick'em. Andrews and Likely are probably going to be the main 2 targets here.
Yeah,
Bateman's came
without
along
Zay
pretty good
Flowers,
too,
I would
so-
almost bet that we're going to see a lot of double tight end sets.
Yes, for sure. And they do it to begin with anyways a lot. So
Yeah.
they're just going to continue. I think that, Steelers are kind of, they showed who we thought they were. They got away with it for a long time, but they
Too
can't
long.
keep getting away
Too
with
long.
it in the ends now.
The end of the season made my opinion of them all season save face a little bit. I think they started
did.
out 10-2, and they ended up they started out 9-2, and they ended up 10-6, 10-7.
Yeah. 10-7. Yep. They barely got in. They lucky they beat the teams they did in the beginning, and they kept their division rival Cincinnati out. Really.
Yeah.
All right. Next game, Denver Buffalo.
I can already write this one in. You Bills lover.
This is the Bills. This is gonna be a great divisional game when it comes up, but I do think it'll be close. I do think that.
Yeah, the Broncos' good defense is enough to keep them in with just about anyone, but I don't think you can hold back Josh Allen in the game.
No. I wouldn't be surprised if it comes down into the fourth quarter and Josh Allen does some Superman shit
Yeah,
to win the game.
Would
At
not
all.
surprise me at all. Plus, the Broncos have been a pretty good first half team, and then kind of have let a lot
Yeah,
of games
they
slip
do.
late in the game.
They do. It's gonna be basically you sent a message to me on the Broncos being the best defensive line. Basically,
Yeah.
they're having the most sacks, and the Bills having the best offensive line, or second best. Detroit's got the best offensive line, or Philly, but they've allowed the least. They've allowed the least amount of sacks, but that also has something to do with Josh.
That's what I was going to say. Is
Yeah.
a lot of the least amount of sacks has to do with you've got a quarterback that stands at about 250, and he's just
Well,
an elusive guy as well.
well, like Philly's kind of got the same thing, where Hurts is a beast of a human being,
Mm-hmm.
and he's hard to bring down. Detroit's just got a great line.
Yeah.
Goff's
Yeah,
not necessarily hard
Goff's
to bring
not
down. But
exactly tough to sack. He's a pure pocket
No.
passer that doesn't move around super duper well.
no, Hurts is not like the quick runner, but he's so physical, and that dude squats like 700 pounds.
Yeah.
He's an animal. So yeah, that divisional round there will be great.
I
But
agree.
we'll get to that here in a second.
You're gonna
we got
just
the
move
Vi-
over to the NFC side.
NFC. Yes. This is the Monday night game here. Vikings Rams. I'm Vikings here all the way. I think they.
Yeah, I've been saying it for a couple weeks now since they beat the Packers in Week 17 that I'm done not believing in Sam Darnold. He's
Yeah.
just he's doing it.
He got his bad game out against Detroit in a game that mattered, but doesn't matter in the greater scheme of things.
Yeah.
They're going to be hungry as hell to get back to Detroit too.
Yeah.
that may give away a little bit of what my bottom side of the bracket's going to be. And I kind of hate that I'm pretty well picking the favorites, but
They're favorites for a reason.
They're favored for a reason, exactly. And then the seeding just doesn't make sense. NFL, fix your seeding. Get rid of this division matters on the seeding. Division gets you in, but the seeding should be your record, please. The NBA gets that right.
Yeah, they do.
It needs to be like that. The Vikings should be the 5 seed. They should be the 3 seed.
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
or they maybe
be
even be the 2.
Yeah,
but it's close. I don't remember what Philly ended up with.
I believe the Vikings won the head-to-head.
Yeah. So, yeah, that would be a lot better if they did that. Anyways, though, that's just me complaining about the NFL, which we can do a lot. They're not great on some stuff. They don't do stuff that makes sense.
Not particularly, no.
No.
Okay,
right,
that brings up the Bake Show and
the Bake Show and
the
Commanders.
Rookie Phenom.
Yeah, and I've seen a lot of people pick the Commanders in this game. I feel like most of it is on the Commanders. I'm not. I think it's Buccaneers here. Bucks beat some really good teams early, and they
they had Godwin and Evans down at the same time.
Yes, they were without Evans for 5 games there, and Godwin was out for the season, and they still almost beat the Chiefs. They still almost beat a lot of teams. They played very well. I think they covered in everyone, or
just
whatever
about.
you want to say on that. And Commanders, yes, they have a good record. They didn't beat anybody when you look at their record.
Yeah.
The only playoff
really
team they beat
schedule.
was Philly, with quotation marks, because that was Kenny Pickett led Philly.
Yeah.
That's a whole different team whenever you don't have the tush push.
I mean, the guy threw himself to the ground.
Yeah, he did. So, I do think the Commanders are a good team, but I think their record is a bit deceiving.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I agree with that. They did have to play the entire NFC North, though.
They did. They did. Did they win any of those? They only won on the Hail Mary.
I think those were all losses. Yeah.
Yeah. They beat the Bears on the Hail Mary.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yep.
So.
And they lost to the rest of them. I'm almost positive. Yes.
Yeah. So I think the Bucks are still playing here, and they've got enough good stuff, and how they kind of played at the end of the year, I think, helps too. They lost the game there week 17 to make it contemplate Falcons getting in, but I still think the Bucks are the better team here.
I agree with that, and that offense has been rolling. Baker's looked great. Him and Evans have built a connection that they've had to build. I think they might be getting Cade Otton back.
Yeah, I think they are. McMillan has really, really turned it up, and Bucky Irving has been a borderline top 10 running back here in the last 6 weeks of the NFL
I would say
season.
so. And the whole second half of the season, really.
Yeah, he really has. I've seen some early mock drafts for fantasy have him going pretty dang high.
Yeah.
Next year.
I mean, he's on an offense that has to balance the pass game that they've already got there, and he's been really good. So he's going to be heavily involved.
Yep, for sure. And I don't know what Rachaad White's contract situation is, but I could see them being gone too.
Yeah.
And Bucky being the lead with the Tucker as the backup. But all right, now this is the game I disappoint you.
Yeah.
I'm
it's
sorry.
Okay. I'm ready to hurt again.
Philly, Jalen Hurts is playing.
He is playing.
So
okay.
That is confirmed. He is playing. He passed concussion protocol yesterday.
Look at him go.
So he is playing. I think that these are 2 very, very good teams.
This is the game of the week, in my opinion.
Yeah. Philly's top defense and one of the top offenses in the league. But Green Bay's also top 10 in both as well.
Yep.
Once again, this is the seeding thing. This makes for a good first-round game, but this game should not happen.
Green Bay may be the toughest 7 seed that you'll ever see. Because, in my opinion, I only see 3 teams there that probably beat them consistently, and 2 of them are in their division.
Yep. To me, they should be the 4 seed.
Yeah.
And that would mean they would get Commanders. I think if my reseeding is correct, or the Rams. They'd get the Rams. They'd either get the Rams or the Bucks.
Right. And the Bucks game would be interesting, but they'd beat the Rams.
Bucks game would be interesting for sure. I didn't talk much about the Rams. The Rams are pretty decent.
That offense is strong.
offense-
It's just
Offense could keep up with Minnesota, but I think Minnesota's defense is just that much better.
I expect to see a heavy dose of Aaron Jones that game.
Yeah, I could see that. Back to the current game though, I think Philadelphia's just better in all facets, a little bit better than Green Bay.
Yeah.
Philly's got Saquon, Green Bay's got Jacobs. Saquon's a little bit better. Philly's got Brown, who best receiver on the field. Devontae, you could argue him and Jaden Reed are very close.
Yeah. Like Eagles number 2 is arguably better than the Packers number 1.
Yeah.
But when we get deeper in the receiver depth chart, that's when the Packers start making their headway on.
Yeah. I don't know. Devontae has had basically 1,000 yards every year.
Yeah.
I don't know if he did this year.
Is this year 4 for him?
Yeah. I'm gonna look it up here. I did not. I looked up on ESPN. They clearly had AJ Brown's picture as Devontae Smith. I was really confused, but actually, this was his worst year yardage wise, and it's still as
I think he was
good
hurt
as
a few games.
he was, and it's still as good as any of the Packers.
Yeah.
So he just kind of had a down year, but every other year he's been 916, then 1,000, 1,100. Like he's just solid.
Yeah.
He's a hell of a number 2. Probably
sure.
like a top 3 number 2 wide receiver in the league. Honestly,
Okay. I don't know, because you've got the Texans have Nico and Tank and
well, yeah, okay. I'll give him
Stephon
top 5.
Yeah.
I forgot about the Texans. I was thinking Rams and Cincy in there.
Heck, I'm not sure
But,
that he's. Anyway, yeah.
Anyways,
You got Bucks.
there's a
and
few, but I
all
think he's
those.
top 5.
Yeah.
I think he's top 5, number 2 wide receiver.
Because I don't think that duo is better than Godwin and Evans either.
No, it'd be close.
Yeah. Okay.
AJ
so,
Brown's a little bit too hit or miss sometimes to make
Right.
it better. If he was as consistent as Mike, it would be better.
I don't
but,
disagree.
All right. Divisional rounds to make it to the conference championship. These teams played. Kansas City won both games. Pretty
They did.
sure.
They did.
I hate to say it. I think Kansas City wins here.
I think so too.
The Chargers don't have enough offensive firepower. The Chiefs don't have a ton either, and I think that's gonna be what bites them here, eventually. But the Chargers just don't have much at all. Which, I mean, it's worked for them.
And I mean, the Chiefs are a different team in the playoffs. I hate to say it, but they just are.
They are. They are.
It's like they just screw around all season, and in the playoffs they come out and they stomp everybody. Like,
Yeah,
it's happened the last 2 seasons.
I don't think that happens this year. I really don't.
No one
We'll
thought
get
it would
into
happen last year. They were terrible in the regular season last year.
Yeah, then they squeaked by, but this year they were bad in the regular season.
They won more games.
I know, but they were everything was down.
They were a wild card team last year.
I know. There's also like 7 games that had skeptical calls
Yeah.
and 1-score games. Like every game was almost 1 score.
All I'm saying is Travis Kelce's getting hot at a bad time for that theory to be correct.
Yeah, I don't disagree. But this next game is tough.
Yeah,
God,
I think
it's tough.
everyone has this game in the bracket for the most part.
Yeah.
and
I-
it'll be a fun game.
Oh, this probably be the game of the playoffs.
Yeah. Yep, I agree.
Now, we said earlier the Ravens beat the shit out of the Bills, but that was like week 3.
Mm-hmm. Derrick
and-
Henry was unstoppable at that point in the season.
Yes. The Bills have really played better at the end of the season here.
Yeah.
A lot better. But the Ravens are hot too. See, this is a tough one because if the Ravens have Zay, I probably tend to lean Ravens.
Yeah, yeah.
But
It's tough to look 2 weeks into the future, though.
yeah, we don't know that for sure. It's tough to look at that. I think I'm gonna go Bills here.
Okay.
My heart says go Bills, so I'm going with my
My
heart,
heart
even though I
says
love
go
the
Bills.
Ravens. I love the Ravens. I love Lamar, but I think the Bills, they're ready to prove that they didn't just beat the Chiefs in the regular season.
Yeah. I like
This
that.
game here, Vikings Detroit. Vikings gonna come pissed off.
They
They're
are.
ready for revenge.
I'm not sure it'll matter.
I don't think it matters either. Apparently Monty's gonna be back for this game.
Dan Campbell stays pissed off.
Dan Campbell is always, well, he's not actually always pissed off, but he can get you pissed off.
Yeah.
He knows how to talk to make somebody pissed off.
Yeah.
For his team. He's a hell of a motivator. He honestly seems like a fun-loving guy.
He does.
But he's great. Yeah, I just think the Lions are just a better team. They're getting healthy. Like I said, Monty's going to be back in this game, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. But he said he's back.
Yeah.
That's huge. That's huge. That's that battering ram.
And at that point in time, you may be. I mean, I don't know yet. I'm not gonna rule out Aiden Hutchinson being back by then either.
he's pretty set on if they make it to the Super Bowl, he'll be back.
Yeah.
But we'll see. And this one, the Bucks beat the Eagles early on,
They
which
did.
is one of the reasons I like the Bucks to beat Washington.
Well, the thing is, that could start a domino effect because they also beat the Lions.
Yes, they did. They did beat the Lions. So that's basically where I'm picking the Bucks over the Commanders.
Yeah.
I didn't say it on that one, but that's where I think
They've beaten quality teams, like such quality teams.
Yes, for sure. And I just think they're the better team. But on this one, I think the Eagles are as good as anybody in the league, and I think they're going to take it out on the Bucks
Okay. Okay.
here for sure. Yeah, sorry, I was pulling up our YouTube just to make sure the live looked good and stuff, and in case we got any comments. But all right, now I'm in the conference finals here.
Yes, you are. We'll start AFC. That's kind of been our trend. So.
Yep. I know the Chiefs have looked, they've won so many games, but they lost to the Bills. The Chiefs have been, I know you could sit there and say, oh, they know how to win, but you can't sit there and just think they're going to win every one-score game. Tom Brady did not do it. Don't sit there and I know what she's getting ready to say. Well, the Patriots did it. They didn't do it every single year. And I don't think the Chiefs can do it every single year either.
That was because Eli Manning made Tom Brady his biatch. And you know who has always made Josh Allen his biatch in the playoffs? Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, that is true. But there's also times where the Patriots didn't make the Super Bowl in there too.
Well, you can't make it every year.
Exactly. You're acting like they can make it every year. Or
No,
not you, but
I'm not saying
people
that.
are acting like it. I said not you. People are acting like that. Like, oh, they're going to make it to the Super Bowl every year. Patriots did not make it every single year.
I mean, it was like
Now, when they got there, yes, it was. And that's kind of, I could see the Chiefs doing that. I just don't think the Chiefs have enough offensive firepower. I don't. I said it all year. Look, the records on the scoring 30 points thing is nuts. That's never been done before.
Yeah.
Never. You have to have defense can win championships, but you've got to have some kind of offense. Now I think Patrick Mahomes will play better in the playoffs.
I don't think he can play much worse.
Hollywood Brown, he's been worse than Aaron Rodgers, by the way.
Aaron Rodgers, actually, his stats were very comparable to
His
Josh
stats
Allen's.
are yes, they are.
Yeah.
And his stats are better than Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah. I saw a stat for that earlier that Rodgers threw like
At least-
more picks. But other
At
than
least
that,
passing stats.
yeah,
passing
exactly,
stats.
yeah.
But
But as a
Mahomes
passer, he
doesn't
looked
run at all.
he was comparable to Josh Allen. Now,
He
Josh Allen had
was.
an incredible running year too, so
Yes.
not saying Rodgers is MVP or anything, but I believe he said in an interview that my down years look a lot like a lot of quarterbacks' career years.
Yes, he's right. This wasn't like saying comparing to Josh. I think Josh has had better statistical years. I think last year was better statistical year. He was better than Lamar last year, actually.
Yeah.
Statistically, but back to the Chiefs. I think their offense is not good enough to win them a Super Bowl this year. I really don't think.
I don't necessarily disagree.
Hollywood Brown, I've said it before. I still think he's washed. D Hop is good, but he's not the D Hop of old.
No, he's not the D-Hop we grew up watching.
He did not. He's had a few good games with them, but then he kind of tailed off towards the end.
Yeah, just no. The glaring issue is no Rashee Rice. Like,
yes,
that is your clear-cut wide receiver one that you've went all season with, basically.
If they had Rashee Rice, first off, I would have probably won the fantasy championship in the league. Still pissed off about that, and that may be a little bit.
Second of all, we may be looking at a three-peat.
Yes. Rice was like probably he was top 3 receiver in the league right then.
Yeah.
When he got hurt, he was balling. Of course, I don't think we've heard anything about it. I don't know if he's been in court because he's been injured, so it's not been on the news.
But, I think he served
anyways.
his suspension the hard way.
Yeah. I think the Bills have better weapons. Pacheco and Cook are pretty close in the running back.
Yeah, Pacheco will be on a little bit fresher legs.
Yeah. But he was also injured.
That's what I mean by he'll be on fresher legs.
Yeah. And they get a week off here too.
Yeah.
Coming into this, but I think the Bills have better receivers. The tight end position for the Bills has not been as good as anybody hoped, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Josh has really spread it out. He does. You don't know if it's gonna be Coleman, Cooper, Shakir, some Curtis Samuel in there, some Kincaid, and some Dawson Knox too.
Okay.
He doesn't care who it is. He's gonna get it.
Yeah.
I just think this is the year the Bills get the hump off their back.
So are we talking about? I have a feeling I know where you're going with this next one too. So are we talking about maybe a pretty exciting for a couple of down teams Super Bowl?
This is my hopeful list, but it's also what I think too.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a far-fetched one.
No, it isn't. I mean, it's the 1 seed. Or I guess the Chiefs are the 1 seed.
You have the 1, the 2, and the 1 and 2.
Yeah.
It's not far-fetched.
No.
And those 4 teams are actually, actually ranked where they should be. They were deserving of what their seeding is.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think the AFC was
Vikings.
ranked pretty appropriate in general.
Yeah. I would agree there. It's just the NFC with that NFC North being like it is. It's so crazy.
And we knew that from the very beginning of the season that was going to happen.
Yeah.
Well,
About
maybe not the
4
Vikings
games.
part, but
Yeah, about 4 games in, we seem to learn the Vikings were pretty legit.
yeah.
But yeah, I think the Lions here. This is a battle of the 2 best offensive lines in football. Right here, this NFC Championship game. And it's like, okay, well, the Eagles got Saquon. Lions got Jahmyr Gibbs, who since Monty has been gone has been
And at this
as good
point
as
in the
Saquon.
NFC Championship, I would expect Monty to be back.
Monty's supposed to be back in the divisional game,
Yeah.
actually. So now you have both of them back. You got Sonic and Knuckles
That's right.
coming back. Lions have everything on offense to keep up with anybody, especially with Jamison Williams, showing what he's shown this year.
And, of course, Amon Ra.
And the Monroe, he's great.
Sam
Then,
Laporta. Great.
Laporta.
They're
is
just
great.
great at the
That-
entire offensive position. Like,
The
their
entire
offense
offense
is
is great,
yeah.
and the defense is getting healthier. I think that they're going to be a team of destiny.
Making the playoff Super Bowl of destiny. Someone's got to win it.
So I would argue this is the best case scenario Super Bowl
For the sport, yeah.
for the sport, not maybe for NFL, but I don't know. It's pretty. You get the whole wide world watching. They get to see somebody else. They get to see Josh Allen for the first time. That's one of my favorite things Pat McAfee talks about. Is like how the Super Bowl is. Oh, you got all these people from the different countries watching it. It might be their first time watching football, and they get to see Josh Allen play.
Yeah, that's fair.
This 6'5", 240-pound athletic freak who can do basically everything. Like I've seen enough videos of him playing other sports. Dude looks like he could go pro in anything.
He's basically prime Big Ben, but moves around a little better.
Yeah.
Like, that's a super good comparison if you think about it.
Yes.
Because Big Ben, he could sling it from anywhere, had a cannon of an arm, was impossible to take down. He just didn't actually go for the actual runs.
Yeah.
But
he wasn't as fast as Josh. Josh is damn fast.
Yeah. But as far as being difficult to take down and just being a tank of a human, very similar.
They're probably close to the same size, too.
Yeah, I would say Big Ben's probably a little bit built bigger, but
probably a little more beefy. Maybe not as...
A little pudgy, you know?
Yeah. You knew exactly what I was saying there. A little bit pudgy.
The agility was not there, though.
No. So, these are two great offensive lines. But I think I'm going to go Lions here. I'm going to go Dan Campbell gets it. And Detroit burns to the ground in happiness.
I was going to say, at this point, when you get two really good teams like this, you look at the quarterback and you look at the head coach. The quarterback, the Bills have the edge.
Quarterback goes to the Bills.
But the
head coach,
I think we have a significant advantage with Dan Campbell.
I do too.
But that could be like last year and bite them in the ass.
Yeah.
He's been much more contained with it this year.
Yes. I think he's been pretty consistent, though. I could see him staying on the same. I think the Bills' defense is not quite good enough to keep up with this Lion offense. Especially if they're got both running backs going. Those two running backs are hard to deal with.
Well, I mean, you got the dink and dunks that you can throw to Amon-Ra and Laporta all
or
game.
Jameer.
And then you've got
Jameer.
Yeah, and Jameer. And then you've got the deep ball with both Amon-Ra and Jameson Williams. I mean, the team is good.
I think they're one of the best offenses we've seen since like the Patriots in 07 or the Greatest Show on Turf. I really do. I don't know.
I thought it was the 09 Patriots that was ridiculous.
I thought it was 07.
Could be wrong.
Any which ways. You know which
Same
team I'm talking about. You know which team I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I know during the year they were averaging the same number of points per game as the Greatest Show on Turf.
Yep.
So I don't know where they ended up at. Probably pretty close to that.
Well, I mean, they scored like 40-some their last week, so.
Yeah. They were averaging 31 points per game, which is nuts. So, all right. That's my...
You want to grab a screen capture of your bracket there, or are you going to get it out of the video later?
I'll get it out of the video later.
Okay, I'm going to start taking this crap out so I can set mine up.
All right. Delete my ugly face.
I'm getting there. I made it bigger first.
You made it bigger. I should switch it.
All right, now I'm making my bracket. I gotta build it real quick. Oh, there's an ugly mug right there.
Oh man.
And then now you guys get to watch me struggle moving this template like I did with Alex's.
You gotta like double click your picture.
It didn't matter.
Nope. No, that's Canva, not Photo Director.
No, you just have to hit the exact perfect spot on the line to make it.
Yeah. You can do it. I believe in you.
I don't know if I believe in myself.
How about you? Nope, you got it. I was getting ready to say, make yourself smaller, see if that helps for some reason.
Okay.
Good enough.
I agree.
All right. Now we got the Rodgers bracket.
That's right. I didn't name yours BBV stat guy. Just said stat guy.
And also, shout out our missing compadre, Woody. Well, we're ready to have you back, dog.
Yeah, for sure. And then,
We might,
yeah, he would
we
have
might
loved
make
this.
you.
He would have loved
Yeah, I was
this
gonna say he
episode.
would love this exactly. He would absolutely love this. We might have him do one from the divisional round.
This is actually the stuff that he used to talk about us being able to do on
Yes.
shows. So
Yes,
he's gonna be
we-
stoked when he sees this video. And
Yeah, when he comes back, he's gonna be like, "Oh my god, you guys have figured so much shit out."
yeah, we're excited. We're excited. Okay, so we're gonna start with my AFC. I'm not gonna have to explain things near as much because you kind of did most of the
Yeah.
explaining on ours, and we kind of had the talks. So we're gonna run right through mine pretty quick. Broncos and Bills. See, you have the Bills making it all the way to the Super Bowl, and I don't disagree that they may be the best team. I think this game right here is going to be a real test from the beginning. I think that the Broncos have a good enough defense to hang with them, but the offense is going to eventually just make them fall a little bit short. And
Yep.
I am going Bills here, but I'm saying that I would not be like in total shock if the Broncos pulled this one out.
Yeah, we both picked the the Broncos to cover.
Yeah, because I think it was over a touchdown, which was ridiculous to me.
Yeah, I forgot to put lock on that. We actually locked that one in. Us three that did that. Can't
Yeah.
find my keyboard.
And-
There we go.
Next up, I mean, they're not going to keep getting away with this, guys. They got away with it for too long. They started out the season great. It's in a downward spiral, and we're going to keep falling all the way into the dirt. Mike Tomlin still is not going to win a playoff game. He's won playoff games, but just not in a long time.
Yep.
I mean, I think it's been several years at this point.
It's been a while. Steelers
I don't
fans
think
are
he's
pretty
won a playoff
spoiled.
game since Big Ben.
I don't think so either. Pretty sure that's right.
Okay. So, or maybe even like Le'Veon and AB, that era.
Yeah. Yeah, that might be right too.
Since they had those three, the killer bees or whatever.
Yep. Triple
anyway.
B, killer bees.
I'm going a little bit different on this one. I've been on the Chargers this entire time. I think I picked them in the pick'em. I think I picked everything. I'm gonna go Texans here. I'm feeling
So
it.
you get
I'm
that-
switching it up.
the Chargers are even favored in the pick'em, so you're going completely different
Yeah.
here.
Yep, I am.
Either
I am.
that or you're like hedge my bet.
I need some contrast here. I need some contrast. So that doesn't mess up the bracket as far as typing that in, I don't think.
Nope.
Okay.
That's still correct. Still
All
the
right.
lowest seed is Houston.
Now this one I'm gonna have to do a little different here.
Oh.
Okay. I'm gonna start with bottom right, just because if I don't, it'll mess up the bracket.
Yep.
Because
Now
I'm going
notice
upset
that-
city over here, boys.
His webcam is from the bottom here. And you can't see his hat, but yeah, there you go. He can show you that. He also has a Packer hat on.
Yeah, we're going Packers, boys.
His name is actually Aaron Rodgers. He is a Packers fan.
That's right. So Packers are like, you know what? You beat us in Brazil. Can't count it. Here we go. Jordan Love's healthy, maybe, hopefully.
He
Christian
is.
Watson
Yeah, he
is
is.
not.
Kristen Watson is not.
He's done for a good bit. We'll probably see him in preseason next year, maybe.
I don't think we'll see him in preseason.
Anyway, we're going. Nope, we can't put him there. Never mind. We got to put him up here because they're going to go face their division rivals in the Lions. Typing is hard currently. Yeah. All right, next up, we have the Commanders versus the Buccaneers. All season, I've been all over the Bake Show. Absolutely love them. And, yeah.
He's been like the
Commanders,
poster boy
I
of
don't-
BBB, I feel like.
I don't think the Commanders are a bad team. I don't. But I do think that the rookie quarterback does come into play here. I think that you get a rookie quarterback in the playoffs. The Commanders have a tendency of killing rookie quarterbacks in the playoffs. RIP RG3. But we're going Bucks because that offense is so good, and they can hang with anyone. Yeah, you did. Okay, so my last game of the wild card round for the NFC would be the Rams and the Vikings, the 4 and the 5 seed, and I'm tired of the Vikings getting away with this, and I'm tired of saying that they're not going to. They're just a good team. They beat the Packers
Yep.
twice. They're just a good team.
Yep.
No, buddy. We already did yours. Okay, so Vikings, and now we're going to the divisional rounds. We
Yes.
start over in the NFC or AFC again, and we're going to go to Ravens and Bills land. We're going to be running through tables. Things are going to get wild.
Gonna be tables on fire.
So I want to break this down in sections.
Okay.
We're going to go quarterback. We're going to call it a wash because
Yep,
they have the
I would
best two
call that.
quarterbacks in the NFL.
These are the people that everyone's comparing for MVP.
Yes. I'm going to
That's
call it
kinda
a
the
wash
only-
because I
only
think
two choices.
either one of them could deserve MVP, and I would not be
Yeah.
surprised by either one of them winning MVP.
Yep.
I'd be upset if Lamar won a third one instead of Josh Allen winning his, but I
So-
wouldn't be surprised.
That's my only thing on that is just like last year, the argument for Lamar this year was the argument for Josh last year,
Yeah.
and it's kind of like, okay, well, Josh had better numbers last year, and you gave it to Lamar.
It's fair. That's fair.
If it's only numbers, give it to Joe.
That being said, they've both been incredible.
Yeah.
Absolutely
They have.
incredible. And then I'm going to go to running back. I'm going to give the edge here to the Ravens.
Yep.
And
I would
that's
agree
just
there.
because Cook's been good. He's not been Derrick Henry good. And it's close. It's
Cook
really
has
close.
been good, but he wasn't like quite as good as I pegged him to be this year.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
expected top 10 running back.
Yeah, and he
wasn't
showed
quite
flashes
there.
of that. He had weeks like that.
Yeah.
But not been as good. And then I'm going to go defense. Defense, I want to give the Ravens. They started out the season really poorly.
They turned it around something fierce.
I believe Kyle Hamilton. They moved him to a different position, and
Did they? I thought he stayed in the same position.
okay, for some reason I thought they moved Kyle Hamilton around. Anyway, since they did something,
They do. They move him around because he can play in like every position.
yeah, I thought they moved Kyle Hamilton around a little bit, and since then things started clicking. But anyway, Ravens since week like 4 or 5 have been a very good defense, one of the best defenses actually. So I'm going to give the Ravens the edge on that. Now I'm going to go head coach.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to go Ravens here.
There's an edge there for sure.
You got to go Ravens.
And it's not that. It's not that. It sounds like between what we said with my Super Bowl and this game, it sounds like we're kicking Sean McDermott.
No,
like
he's
a
Sean
terrible
McDermott's
coach,
fine.
but
He's a great head coach.
He's a good, but Harbaugh's one of the best in the league
Exactly.
every
exactly.
single year.
So when we wrap all of that up, I mean, both their offensive lines are great. Both their defensive lines are pretty good. I'll call a wash on both of those, really.
Yeah.
When we go through all of that, you get the X factor of Josh Allen, and that's going to help some. I think that he's probably a better winner, even though he's not done it yet, really. I am going to go Ravens. But I think this is a really close. But I wanted to break it down by category
It's
like
very
that
close.
to kind of explain it. Because on paper, both of these teams are very good, and a lot of people would think the Bills are better. But when you start breaking it down by category, the Ravens are better in a lot of aspects.
So the only thing on the coaching, and I'm not saying they do it again, but I will say last year in that title game, that was so disappointing to see the Ravens just like give up on their run game.
I don't
And,
think
like,
you give
that's-
up on Derrick Henry.
No, I don't think so, but
Yeah.
that is a thing that happened last year, and we have to acknowledge it.
Yeah.
That lost them that game.
Who did they have at that point as the running back?
Shit, I don't know,
Exactly.
probably Gus. But they didn't even run with Lamar though. Like,
Yeah.
they didn't try much of anything. So
I think that won't happen again with Derrick Henry, but I could be proven wrong. So
you're
next
saying
up
Ravens.
on my other AFC team, Roads end here for Texans. I couldn't see them getting past the Chiefs here. Even if it was the Chargers that won this game, I don't see either of those teams beating the Chiefs. So that first round wild card game that I switched it up a little bit, in the grand scheme of things, does not matter.
Doesn't matter. I knew when you switched it around, it didn't matter.
Yeah, the Chiefs would have beaten both those teams in my opinion. Granted, I don't think they'd have beaten either team by a lot because they don't beat anyone by a lot.
No,
but I think you're going to see a Chiefs offense that you haven't seen all season. We're going to see them score 30 points in this game, and
I would be so surprised if they did. But
against the Texans, I would not.
The Texans' defense is not bad though. Like their defense is kind of, to me, the reason they're in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Not their offense.
Fair enough. Anyway, I'm going Chiefs. All right, we're moving on to the NFC. We're going to start off with my beloved Packers. They're just going to run into a buzzsaw here, and there's not much they can do about it. It's going to come eventually. There's just so many good teams in the playoffs this year.
So I brought up, sorry to cut you off, I brought up total defense rankings here. So we got, I'll just give you the top 10.
Okay.
Eagles, Titans, Jets, Dolphins, Packers, Texans, Broncos, Niners, Chiefs, Ravens.
Was that 10 to 9, or 1 to 10 or 10 to 1?
1 to 10.
Okay, so Packers are a top 5 defense.
Yeah.
Okay. That's just, man, that so much of that has to do with their turnover ratio. It has to.
Yeah.
Because the Packers pick the ball off so much. That being said, Lions, they're just so much better. They just are. Best team in the NFL in my opinion. But we'll see if they win the Super Bowl or not. Okay, Bucks and Vikings.
What's passing defense? Like the Ravens are 31 and the Lions are 30, and so from 28 to 32, it goes 28 Vikings, 29 Bucks, 30 Lions, 31 Ravens, 32 Jags. That's passing defense.
Well, the Ravens had to play the Bengals twice.
That's also true, but it's just kind of funny how that works. Ravens' best run D, though.
Yep. Okay, so next up, I've got the Bucks and the Vikings. Sorry, Sam Darnold, I can't give you too much credit. And plus, if I have 2 NFC North teams in the conference championship and neither of them are the Packers, I'm gonna fucking puke. So,
so that means he is going to Bake Show
to the NFC championship.
That deserved the air horn.
It did. We did say a few weeks back that we think that Baker Mayfield and crew can beat anyone.
Yes.
And I think that right now, if they get this particular path that I gave them, I don't see any of those teams beating the Bake Show. So if the Packers upset the Eagles, at that point the Bucks have a pretty smooth ride to the conference championship.
Yeah, they do.
Because the Eagles would be the buzzsaw that would beat them on that side.
Yeah. It's hard for me to envision them beating the Bucks or the Eagles beating them. Yeah, the Bucks beating the Eagles.
Exactly.
In that scenario, but
they're
that
just
scenario,
so much more seasoned and well-oiled machine.
doesn't happen unless the Bucks would have to beat the Lions in that case, and I don't see that happening again either. Even though they beat them both, they did beat them both.
Yeah, they did. It's already happened. You don't have to envision it. You saw it. All right. So, my AFC championship, drum roll please. The Chiefs are not going to make it to the Super Bowl this year, guys. Alex thought that I was gearing up to put him in it because I've been talking shit to him
I was trying to find an actual drum roll.
I figured you were.
I didn't see it. I only have that.
The Chiefs are not a joke, and neither are the Ravens. But I am going Ravens here to make it to the Super Bowl. And,
the Ravens are a hot team right now.
And going into the playoffs, being hot sometimes matters a lot, and that's why
That's not even just a football thing. We've seen it with our Cardinals back in 2011.
Yeah.
But like the Giants got hot when they basically won both those Super Bowls. We've seen it happen before.
Yeah, we have.
I wonder how often a team playing the wild card weekend has made it to the Super Bowl.
Packers did in 2011.
It's more often than not, I feel like, to be honest about it.
Yeah. There's tons of examples for sure because
Yeah.
people that play in the wild card round do make it in there a lot. Anyway, now we got our NFC. Sorry, Bake Show. Your reign of terror on the NFC has ended, and Daddy's home.
The daddy being the Lions.
Daddy is home. The Lions make it to the Super Bowl. That sets up a pretty similar bracket to what you had. I think really the only main difference is I had the Bills getting knocked out and the Eagles.
And that game is the toughest game, and probably the
You said that. That's probably the
best
game of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Although I think this Super Bowl right here and the Super Bowl setup you had will be
Oh
banger
yeah, those
Super
are
Bowls.
great. Yeah.
Banger Super Bowls.
Basically, we just really want the Lions to make it to the Super Bowl.
And we both want the Lions to win the Super Bowl.
Let's go.
Air horn. Yeah, I think the Lions are. We said it all season. We've said it since the beginning of the season when we did our power rankings that the Lions are the best team in the NFL. Injuries really made them not look like the best team in the NFL a couple times.
Yes.
But the injuries are getting better. The injuries are going away. They won all the games that they needed to win. They still locked in that 1 seed, and people are getting healthier. And by the time we get to the Super Bowl, we might see an Aiden Hutchinson appearance. And that defense is scary with Aiden Hutchinson. That being said, that is my pick. That is our bracket. And
let us know what you guys think of
let
it.
us know what I think. Tell us what we did wrong. Tell us what we did right. And I need to get a picture over here so I can send that to Woody here in a little bit. And I probably could have just got a screenshot, but I didn't. And follow us on TikTok. We didn't do this on TikTok, but we're going to be doing a live game of the Chargers Texans coming up here in about an hour. I'm going to take a break first.
Rogers might be doing that one himself with probably his kids.
Yeah.
But and then I'll probably join in for the Amazon game of the AFC North.
Absolutely. Thanks everyone that tuned in. We appreciate you. Follow us on TikTok. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Check us out on Facebook and also Twitter and Facebook.
And TikTok and Discord.
I don't have anything to point at as far as telling you where all our socials are.
We got to get that set up.
But thanks everyone for tuning in, and we'll catch you next week.